This is the big deal of the day. So, privilege and immunity. Now, we go back to where they say they're promoting humanitarian aid. This is what we're talking about. This is a story that's going under the wire. This is kind of what is leading me to be very angry because the UN, we know, runs UNRWA. That was the organization that was providing humanitarian aid to Hamas. Now, globally, they get money from all over the globe for food, shelter, clothing, infrastructure projects, transportation projects, and UNRWA carries them out under the auspices of the United Nations. But I want to keep this on the screen for a minute because I want you to read every letter of this and tell me what this says, because I'm going to tell you what it says, and you're going to read it, and you're going to be very angry when you read it, because right now, the United Nations is telling the United States and the rest of the world that UNRWA, that participated in the attack on Israel, the October attack that was carried out, had UNRWA members actually in the attacking force. They used the humanitarian aid that was supposed to be provided for the peaceful people of Palestine were supposed to receive the humanitarian aid. Was all bullshit. They were using it to drill tunnels, buy weapons, fund Hamas, feed Hamas. There are Palestinian people that are peaceful. They didn't get any of this. So once this comes out and it's shown that they're involved in the attacks, the UN says, nope, look at our charter. We have immunity. Those people have immunity. They cannot be prosecuted. They cannot be held accountable. Full immunity. And you look at the charter, our dumbasses signed this. So we have people, envoys and the UN folks that we assign, they signed on to this and agreed to this. Now, this is not ratified by Congress. This is a treaty with a body of foreign nations that's never been ratified. I say they don't have immunity, and if we want to give them due process and bring them to bear in a trial, and they are found guilty, they should be hung or shot. That's your two, that's another topic, but constitutionally, they laid out a couple ways of execution. It was hanging or by execution, firing squad execution. So we've gone well beyond that with injections and all the cruel and unusual nonsense. But that's a whole nother show, whole nother topic. But the UN has done nothing for us, done nothing globally. When they screw up, they have immunity. They have soldiers that promote peacekeeping. It sounds like an oxymoron to me, but I've been on peacekeeping operations, and they are anything but peacekeeping. So Russia goes to the UN, they vote no. China votes no, makes our vote irrelevant. You have UN providing actual global terror across the world with UNRWA doing what they want to do, and now they're claiming they're completely immune from any prosecution. So you have the World Court that wants to punish Americans for violating carbon tax requirements in the Paris Climate Accords. You have them pushing the 2030 agenda. And if you're not familiar with the 2030 agenda, like I said, we're not going to go into detail, but this will dovetail into the second segment of this show. But the 2030 agenda is nothing more than the DEI, equity, Green New Deal, global community that they want to see. And they have enforcement mechanisms in the 2030 agenda that are military and strategic. So if they can't accomplish their goal through regular diplomatic channels, they have enforcement mechanisms using NATO soldiers and UN soldiers. Not a thing. I see a blue helmet on my property, it's not going to end well. So they have no authority over a sovereign U.S. citizen or a sovereign nation. They claim to have this authority and authority with immunity. So I don't know why people are not up in arms. Read the 2030 agenda, apply what I've just told you, look at their immunity clause, and ask yourself, can you vote for any politician that supports the UN? I just can't. I can't do it. We've heard Trump say we need to get out of the UN. Even some of the rhinos, Miss Lindsey Graham, we call him. He goes back and forth all the time, but he has said more times than not that it's time that we either realign the UN, removing some members, or we just completely get out. And that's kind of a leftist rhino in the middle of the road. However, the wind blows, Lindsey Graham even sees the problem with this.